Hello everyone and welcome to the Competitive Programming Podcast. I'm currently visiting the Algorithm and Code Training School camp in Serbia organized by JetBrains. Today's guest is a lecturer at the camp and is a legend both as a competitor and as a teacher. He's the 2004 World Champion of ICPC and the 2021 HashCode Champion. His online lectures have helped tens of thousands of people. Of course, it can only be Pavel Mavrin. Pashka, thank you for giving us your time.
Yeah, thank you all for having me today. So, hello everyone.
So, as I mentioned, 20 years ago you became the ICPC World Champion in Prague, representing ITMO from St. Petersburg. Can you tell us a bit about your journey there? It definitely took probably a few years to learn. So, from starting programming all the way to that.
Oh, it would be a long talk. I'm too old. Okay, so I started programming when I was in elementary school. I think so. It was year 1992, something like this. So it turns out both my parents are programmers, but that days it was kind of different programming. So they were programming in a big factory. It's called. It's a whole long story. So I was born in a city in the middle of Russia. It's called Taliati. It's the city where they make cars. Basically, the biggest Russian car factory is in Taliati. So when they created this city, they invited a lot of engineers from different universities from all over the Soviet Union. And so my parents came from Kazan. It's actually pretty close to Taliati. So they graduated in university in Kazan, and they are professional engineers, and so they know something about programming, but it was kind of different programming for these big machines, you know. So when I come to school, another luck that when I go to school, in our school there was already some computer classes. It was not very popular that time in Russia. But we had actually a real computer class. We had machines like, oh goodness, it's like 286, something like these machines. So you know this whole stuff. So with MS-DOS, yes. And so then I first come there. So it's already some place where you can program, and there are a lot of high school students who taught me how to program, basically in quick basic. Yeah. So I started there, and by the age, I don't know, by 15 something, maybe less, I was participating in all local Olympiads, and I was basically not winning maybe all of them, but I performed pretty well. So when the time comes to graduate from my school, so I need to choose the university. I chose the ITMO University because of reasons I don't know. It's always at that time it wasn't very practical to choose. I believe it was more like I don't know, emotional choice, let's say like this. So when you graduate from at least when I was, we didn't have that much information about all the universities. So I knew some people from ITMO, and they told me it would be fun to study in ITMO. So that's why I got there. It's hard to explain modern people. So there was basically no internet at that time in Russia. So you don't have that much information. So now you can just Google everything. You can Google, get all the programs, get all the teachers, you know everything. That time, we just know everything. You just pick the university based on some very little knowledge of this. So I picked the ITMO and went there. And yes, in ITMO, it turns out a lot of stuff at that time, at least, was around these ICPC programming competitions. I believe ITMO was one of the pioneers of ICPC community in Russia. ITMO was maybe the first university who went to so they first didn't have regional competition in Russia. They have regional competition in Europe. I believe they went to Amsterdam or something like this. So they then to different region competition, performed pretty well, and they tried to organize their own competition. So ITMO was organizing these whole ICPC competitions in Russia. And so a lot of in ITMO, ITMO is kind of big university, so there is a small department called computer technology department. So when I actually studied. So in this department, a lot of stuff was around this ICPC community and ICPC stuff. So for sure, then first time I come to university, by that time I was already IOI medalist. I skipped this part, but it's not very important. So I was IOI medalist, and we have 2 IOI medalists in the course. So since we knew each other before, so we go to the same team, and we invite our coach actually gave us the third member for the team. So we have pretty nice team. Yes, and we trained a lot, and we study a lot, and yes, and we participate in all competitions. And in a year and a half, we became world champions. That's basically how it comes. It's a very short story. I try to make it as short as possible.
Yeah, and to dive a bit more into how you learned about competitive programming competitions, and how did you decide to try them?
Okay, let's move back. So back at Aliati, so it wasn't okay. Wasn't that much stuff to do. So I believe so. I was participating in all types of competitions. I was participating in math competitions, physics competitions. I was participating in how it's called. It's like technical drawing competition. So it's like when you basically draw some technical pictures. I know how it's called. So I participated in all of them. I like all of them. I believe I mostly like the physics competitions because it was fun. You need to, calculate some real physical systems, and you can actually make experiments and stuff. So I participated in all competitions. I performed pretty well in all types of competitions. I won all the local competitions in all these subjects. I like the physics competitions the most. So first I came to National Olympiad in physics. And in the first time I performed pretty well. Second time I came and okay, that's about emotional part of this thing, So the second time when I came to this national competition, it turns out, so I didn't perform that well. So I break break something during the experiment phase, so just because I was kind of stupid. I was too fast, so I broke the equipment. So they give me some penalty points for that. And I make some basically arithmetic error in my calculations, and when I come to appeal, so they just give me like 2 points out of 10 because of this arithmetic mistake. So when I came to appeal, so why I have only 2 points, I just make a simple mistake. They explain me that I don't understand the physics because I made this mistake. So any good physicist will catch this mistake easily. And I decided, okay, it's too toxic for me to stay here. I would better go to informatics competition. It's much more fun. Nobody's bullying you. So
And it's objective.
Yeah, it's not subjective. Yeah, your solution's testing by this automatic system. So no one is telling you if your solution is wrong except this automatic system. And I met a lot of nice people during this. So they invite me to these summer training camps. And I met a lot of other participants, a lot of teachers. It was very fun, so that's why I decided to switch from physics to informatics competition. And I think it was a very great decision. I cannot imagine me myself to be a physicist now. It would be a very strange career path.
But yeah, it seems it paid off.
Yep.
And what are some big changes that you see maybe in competitive programming since then?
Since then, so people usually tell that there's a lot of thing changes. But it's actually not that much. No, of course, if you take, let's say, one of the top teams from ICPC competitions now and create time machine, move them 20 years back, they will win everything, of course. But the structure was kind of the same. So problems were probably easier than now because we didn't know that much. We didn't study that much. Now you have internet, you have code forces. You can go, you can learn everything. In like a year, you can learn all basic algorithms you need. Back then, we used books, Again, it's hard to explain people. You actually need to find the book, you need to read the book to get the knowledge. So it was kind of different in that way. So it was harder to prepare for competitions because you don't have this amount of information online. But the idea was the same. You read the algorithms, you create the problems, you solve the problems. We solve the problems, used to solve problems. We used to solve like 2 5-hour contests every week, plus some extra competitions if we have time. This was like the minimum. Total minimum was to solve 2 contests per week, and it was normal for us. And it was plus. So we had a lot of studies. So it was not an easy program in ITMO. You had a lot of stuff to do in your in university, and then after that you have a 5-hour contest every week. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, the training was similar, but let's say like Code Forces didn't exist. Top Coder was only starting around that time, I think. So.
Code Forces started. It maybe started around this time. I learned about Code Forces like after I finished ICPC course, like year 2006, something like this. Yeah.
Yeah, and so during the competition, was there automatic grading, or did you just leave the solution and pray?
ICPC was always like this, so they changed the rules, but very slightly. So ICPC looked like this 20 years ago, very minor changes. IOI competition was very different. So again, when you discussed to students why I failed in my IOI competition, so it was because they didn't have any feedbacks. So you just submit the solutions, and after the competition, they test all your solution on test and then give you the feedback. It was kind of stressful, yes, and we had kind of the same system in the local competitions. So I was kind of used to this system, but still, even if you're used to this system, you may have silly mistakes. Yes, I think that's the major change. Another change is of the scoring of the IOI competitions. We used to have. We didn't have this subtask like they used to have now. So we just have like test by test scoring. So the more tests you pass, the more points you have. And it all depends on how judges move. So judges may decide, okay, we'll have this number of small tests and this number of big tests. So if your solution is like n square solution instead of n log n, you will get this amount of points. But you don't know it before that. So you solve problem as good as you can, and then get some amount of points.
And
harder to predict, you know.
There are still some of these partial feedback competitions, I think. Do you think that there's some like benefit to that? Maybe it teaches the students to be more careful.
Maybe. I know from the point of participant, it's very stressful. So I don't like this competition. So I participated in some of them, and it's always too stressful for me. So maybe it's just my problem. So from a participant point, I would say that having online feedback is very nice. And I don't see that much benefit from it. So people say that, okay, you need to learn how to test your solutions. Yes, of course, you need to learn how to test your solution, but it's kind of hard to do it just in the middle of the competition. It's like, you know, there are games when you don't have enough information, like poker games. And I hate these games because you kind of, I hate to play games where I don't have full information about everything. So, and this is like it. So you have solution. So you can spend your time solving another problem, or you can test this solution, and you never know what is best to do now. And when you have online feedback, you know what's going on. So okay, my solution doesn't work. I need to test it, or it does work. So I need to finish it and go to the next problem. Like that.
Yeah, and let's talk a bit about your journey after you became world champion. So you continued practicing, and you reached your peak Code Forces rating, 2983, 16 years later. So in September 2020, the year after that, your team won Google HashCode. So. What has kept you in the game and even improving after so many years?
You know, I'm still participating. So we have a team participating in the Universal Cup. and like in few weeks we will go to China to fail in some World Finals of competition. I don't know why we're doing it. Let's do it long. So after I finished my ICPC career, interesting fact about ICPC career is very short. Yes, so you participate in World Finals only twice, and then you're done. You cannot participate in any ICPC competitions. And back there, it wasn't many other competitions. So you just did all you can, and that's it. So you finished. So you can go to some coaching. We had a coach. We still have the same coach. But you don't have much stuff to do in this competitional life, you know. After like a year after I finished, I believe it was year 2006. So people showed me that the top coders just started, and it was a big race of beating USA in total rating of. So we had. So it was just started in Russia, and people just like, okay, we need to beat USA in just country rating. So we need many good participants from Russia. Come on. And yes, it was fun back in days, and we participate in. For me, I believe the most cool part was participating in these on-site competitions. Top Coder organized a lot of on-site competitions, Top Coder Open competitions. It was like every year, and it wasn't that hard for me that day to advance to World Finals, to the finals of this competition. They invited a lot of people, like 50 people to the finals, and so it was achievable. So you can advance to the World Finals and actually go to Las Vegas and participate in some international competition, meet all these great coders from all over the world. I met a lot of my good friends there. So for me, it's mostly about this. So it's not. It's about community and about participating in these on-site competitions. Nowadays, so then it was Google introduced his competitions like what's called Code Jam competitions, and again Google invited like 100 people to final competition in California, and you're like, wow, we go to California together with my 10 friends. It was fine. Nowadays, I'm not sure why I still participate in these competitions. So we don't have any on-site competitions now, so it's kind of strange to participate, and why are you still doing it? I think I'm still doing it only because of, one reason is I want to keep my brain in good shape. So when you stop doing it, then after a year, you can't do it anymore because another good reason is still I'm meeting my good friends still. So I participate with my two friends. They live in different countries. So one lives in Germany, another lives in UK. I live in Cyprus. So it's like the only place we meet every week. And still, I think it helps me to teach the children. So when I teach the children, I know what I'm talking about. So you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And how did you decide to participate in HashCode? It's a bit of a different.
Oh, that's a nice story. That's a nice story. That's okay. So HashCode is very different competition. So it's not what we usually do. So we used to participate in some competitions of this type. Let's say we participate in. You did mention. So we also won the Challenge 24 competitions twice with Petr Mitrovic and Yegor Kulikov back in the days. So we participate in competitions of kind of this type. So when you don't solve these ICPC style problems, you solve these more like heuristic style problems. So we kind of used this competition. I was not that fond of this competition, but it's the main reason to participate in HashCode was because the finals they had on-site finals. On-site finals was in Dublin, so we decided okay, and we decided it was not very hard to be in one of the top teams to qualify to the World Finals because they didn't invite they invite only people from Europe, and even people in Europe it was a good chance that we will get to World Finals. And World Finals was in Dublin, so we participate in this competition, and then we get free tickets to Dublin, so we can leave our wives, go to Dublin with 4 friends. Sounds amazing, right?
Yeah.
So that was the main reason we participated in the competition. And then later, because of COVID mostly, they stopped these on-site competitions. So we just do it, I believe, for inertia. So we just cannot stop doing it because we still have a team. We think, okay, we need to come together. And yes, so that's how we won competition. Actually.
We have a team, might as well win it.
Yes. We didn't plan to win, actually. It's very random competition, I would say. So you just implement this strategy, they implement this strategy, somehow this get more points.
Yeah. And apart from being a competitor, we also mentioned that you're a lecturer, a teacher of competitive programming algorithms. You were a lecturer at ITMO for a long time and also at many programming camps. When did you start teaching? How did that start?
Good question. I don't remember when I started teaching. It looks like I was teaching always. I believe it all started when I just came to ITMO. They have this, programming circle for high school students. So they used to come to university and just learn how to participate in these programming Olympiads. And somehow I was there, just helping, The main coach was Andrei Sienkiewicz, and he asked me to help. I don't know. So I start helping with just preparing problems, helping students with solutions, and so on. Then I start giving some lectures. Then do this, then do that. In a few years you don't see how it's coming, but you're already ahead of this circle. Yeah. So because I was teaching the high school students since very first I come to university, then at some point, so organized some schools, camps and stuff like this. Then at some point, I still don't know when I started to teach university students. I believe it was year 2010 maybe. Not quite sure, so sorry, after COVID, a lot of my memory just again. So I believe it was something like this. I believe it was like this. So we kind of extend our groups. So we used to have 2 groups in our program, and we extended to 2 more groups. So we have 2 groups and plus 2 more groups. And they needed a teacher for these new 2 groups, and they asked me. And I was teaching even not algorithms. I was teaching like basic programming. So it's how it's done in ITMO. People just need a teacher for something. They call you and can you teach this? And why not? So I was teaching subjects which I never taught before. And they didn't give me any programs. So you can create your own course. And I was like, okay, I can read books. So I read some books, taught some children. It was fun. It's actually a fun experience to create your own course out of nothing. And then later, again, we changed the program, and they needed a lecturer for algorithms. So that's how I started to actually teach algorithms and data structures, I believe.
Yeah, I also didn't plan on becoming a teacher. My sister wanted to, and as a kid, and I always said no, I could never work with children. But then I tried it, and I realized I actually really liked it. And was there some point? So you told us kind of about your journey. Was there some point where you realized, oh, I actually like it. I would like to do this for a longer time.
I don't know. It was it wasn't like exact point when I learned this. So you just doing it, and again, for a long time when I was in university and even after university, a lot of my friends told me, okay, when will you find the real job? It's not a real job. You just play in university. You just stay in university because you cannot live. You need to leave university. You need to separate from university, start real life. And I was like, why? I'm doing fine. And then just like after many years, actually, it turns out that it's actually a real job. So again, it's not happened like instantly. So at some point, you just realize, okay, that's who I am. I'm actually a real teacher. So, I don't know. It's hard to. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it wasn't like like some choice I made at some point. So at this point, it was. So at some point I decided, okay, I'm doing it pretty good. So I want to be better at this. So I start actually watch more lectures of other people, learn how to do it. I spend more time creating my own courses, thinking about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, in which order I want to do it, how I want to do it. So at some point I decided, okay, this is what I'm doing, so I need to do better in this. Yeah, but I'm not sure at this point when it came to me. So it just happened.
You translated your algorithms course to English and taught it live on Twitch. And your YouTube channel with lectures has over 35,000 subscribers.
We need more subscribers.
What was the thought process behind this?
Like many things in my life, it all happens accidentally. So so I was teaching my courses. And somewhere in background, I was thinking, okay, it would be fun to record these lectures because lectures are good. So I really like this course, and I didn't see anything similar in YouTube at that time. So it was year, I don't remember which year, it was like many years ago. So at some I was watching MIT. I believe that why I was doing this because MIT did this. So MIT published their algorithm courses on YouTube. So I was watching these courses and thinking, why I'm not doing this? So I also have nice courses, and actually they have silly mistakes in these courses, and I point them back. So I thought that I can do something like this, maybe even better. So I'm not that, not that humble. Some of my lectures are brilliant. So I thought I can do it like this, but I don't have any equipment, I don't have any stuff. So I was just thinking, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to buy all this stuff. And then at some point I decided, okay, you need to just do it. You don't need to wait to get all the equipment, get all the things right. So I just get the simple webcam and just put it in front of me and just record my first live lectures just like that. And it turns out it's not that bad. So sound was not great, picture was not great, and later I bought a microphone, but I put it in reverse, so it was recording the audience instead of me. So I made some mistakes, but still, I believe that what I learned in this process, that context is much more important than actually the quality of the picture and quality of the sound. So if you have a good lecture, even if you record it not perfectly, it will still be very useful for other people because it's not that much content online. So I recorded my whole course, and I have like 60. I teach two courses. I have two full years in ITMO. So I had like 60 lectures about algorithms, data structures, and I recorded all of them. And then I recorded several courses because one course finished, so next course starts. I think, okay, this year I will do something better, so I record it again. So I have like maybe 3 versions of this 60-year lecture course. And then at some point, I'm not sure again, what was it? Was it during COVID or even before COVID? So I thought, okay. I have basically the best course in Russian about this. Okay, that's true. Okay, but there is not that many content in English as well. So maybe I can do. I never thought. Okay, I had few lectures in English, but actually not the real course. I never recorded like 60 lectures course in English. It sounded like a lot. But I decided, okay, like we already have this conversation with myself, so you don't wait, we just do it, okay, even if it's not perfect, okay, it's still be good enough for people to learn something. So I just started doing it. So I wanted what I wanted. Why I waited some time, because I wanted to have live audience. I never thought lectures without live audience before. So I tried my best actually to find some live audience in St. Petersburg which do not speak Russian, because it's hard to give lectures in English when all audience speak Russian. My brain just tells me every minute, so what are you doing? We all speak Russian. Let's cut this madness. Okay, so if you speak Russian, they speak Russian. Why we speak English? And it's a big problem actually. So I try to find people who don't speak Russian in St. Petersburg, and it's hard. You need to find people who don't speak Russian and also who want to learn all these algorithms. And there are not that many people like this. So I tried it for some time, and then I decided, come on, so we will wait for forever. So let's just do it. So I asked people on Code Forces to come to my Twitch channel, and so I'll give it online lectures. So you just talk to the camera, and at least you have some live experience, because they send you questions in chat. That's all experience you have. But basically, you're talking to the camera.
It's a bit weird at first.
Yeah, it's weird experience, but after some time you just learn how to do it. And now I can record lectures without any audience. I just talk to the camera, and just it's much more comfortable to me now. Yeah.
And did you expect the lectures to become so popular?
They are not popular enough. We need more. We need more subscribers. Not really. I know. I didn't expect it. So every time, but then last time it was when I came to, I don't remember where, to Egypt, I believe. So in World Finals. Mm-hmm. So you come to Egypt, and the volunteer who welcomes you in the airport say, "Oh, you Pashka, I watch your lectures." I'm like, okay. So yeah, I didn't expect it to be that popular, but yeah, I knew lectures are good. I just didn't expect that many people to need them, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we will provide a link in the description for Pashka's channel, maybe also the playlist for the lectures. Though you have many more subscribers, but hopefully some will come. So nowadays you're a researcher at JetBrains, and many other large companies such as Google and Meta reduce their investments in competitive programming, but thankfully JetBrains still believes and invests in competition. So how did you decide to join JetBrains, and what do you do in these days?
I'm maybe a researcher, but without any research doing. Okay, research is not for me. I try to do it many times. One of the strange things in my life, I'm teaching university student without having PhD. Do you have PhD?
No.
Okay, so people tell me I need to get PhD for all my life.
I don't even have a bachelor yet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
but you teach in university.
No.
Okay. So
just camp.
I thought you sent to teach in university. Okay, so sorry, my bad. What I was talking about? What I'm doing JetBrains. Yeah. So I know JetBrains for many years. I met Andrei Ivanov first time 20 years ago when he was in Portland, I believe. So it was a long time ago. JetBrains was doing a lot of stuff back in Russia. So one of the big offices of JetBrains was in St. Petersburg, and they invest a lot in education in St. Petersburg and in Russia in general. So they had their own programs, and they helped other universities like ITMO. So we was partners with JetBrains since 2011, I believe. So they helped just basically me to get a good enough salary so I can teach in university and be good. So I know JetBrains for many years. They helped us in Russia. So then, when we decided to leave Russia, so first JetBrains decided to leave Russia, then I decided to leave Russia. I just contacted my friends from JetBrains and asked, "Do you need maybe me somewhere?" And they say, "Yes, we're creating a new program in Cyprus. So if you're available, please come. We always need a good algorithms teacher." So that's how I come to Cyprus. So now I live in Cyprus, and we have this new nice bachelor program in the local university. Also, I participate in all other JetBrains educational activities like this camp and other stuff. so life is good now.
And now it's much warmer in Cyprus, right? Than St. Petersburg.
Compared to St. Petersburg, in summer yes, but in winter it's still frustrating for me because they have no central heat like we used to have in Russia. So yeah.
So it's actually colder in Cyprus.
Inside the house, yes, it's much colder.
That's interesting. So JetBrains allowed you to continue working in the CP community, right?
Not allow me, that's my job.
Yeah. You get paid for it.
Yeah, that's interesting that they get your dream job. So my job in JetBrains is basically teach children to do what I'm usually doing actually. so I teach children here, teach children there. I go to all these training camps, to all these competitions. Last time we went to ICPC competitions. I just given lecture about my wonderful life. So that's what I'm doing now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know JetBrains always has different camps and community engagements. Is there something you would recommend to our viewers in the near future?
Okay, so depending on what we need, we have training camps like offline training camps, ACTS training camp like here, organized by both JetBrains, Constructor University, Neapolis University. Again, we have two shell programs in Constructor and Neapolis, so we just come together. We decided we all need good students, so we kind of need to cooperate. So we created these camps, and we plan to continue. We plan to have two camps every year. We have one in the winter, one in the summer, and we already have a lot of plans for the summer camp. Unfortunately, it's not very big because we just have like about 40 participants, mainly because we don't have a good venue. So if you have a good venue, so basically the problem is we need accommodation for all the students, and what's more important, we need classrooms for all the lectures, and it's hard to have a hotel which has enough smaller, and we want to have it outside, not in the city. So it's complicated. So we want to extend, but we just don't have a good venue. We also have some online activities. So we have this online competition, JetBrains Youth Challenge, also created by me and my students, and we have JetBrains Coding Club. Yes. So I have basically online club for people who are interested in competitive programming. We solve a contest every week and then discuss it. I think it's if you're interested in competitive programming, don't know how to learn. Yes, you can come. Look at some other small activities, local activities. I have some local activities in Cyprus, some local activities in Germany, in Serbia. So something here, something there. Yeah.
Yes, if anything like that sounds interesting, so you check it out on their website. So I wanted to pick your brain a bit about your vast teaching experience. You were even my coach for a bit on the Paphos camp 2 years ago. And I enjoyed your teaching style. So to look from the student's point of view, you worked with many students over the years. Is there some trait that kind of predicts, that is a good predictor of success in competitive programming?
Okay, I believe the main question is here how to measure success. So I trained some students who get the gold medals in IOI, and from the first time you see this person, you see, okay, this person may have some success like this, and so one of them, they just brought me to when he was like 12 years old, something like this. So he was just young, and again, they brought him to me because they didn't know what to do with him. So they brought me the boy and say, "This boy is too smart for us. Do something." And you talk to him like for 5 minutes, and you understand. Okay, this guy is genius. He will be great. Another one, I will just meet in the crane. So he was doing some robotics Olympiads, and eventually he got interested in competitive programming. And again, you talk to him like for 5 minutes, and you understand this genius. But again, it's about these type of guys. So some guys are just geniuses. You met them, and immediately you know. Again, it's talent is not enough. So you need to not only be talented, you need to train a lot, especially now. So if you want to succeed in these competitions, you need to train a lot. But even if for these people, okay, I met some very nice people who was very talented, but just didn't train enough, and they still get some success. Maybe not maybe not as good as they would have if they trained. But you can't be good in everything. So maybe they had some other interests in other areas. I'm actually much more interested in helping people who are not that talented. So just you may have like in your teaching experience like few people, like maybe 10 people who can go to international Olympiad, okay, depending on where you work. But I work with like hundreds of students, and most of them, they will never come to international Olympiad, but it doesn't mean that you don't work with them. So it's much more interesting for me to work with people who may be not that talented to go to international Olympiad. Okay, I would not be talented. Everybody is talented. They're just so they're not made for. So people who won international Olympiads are just different kind of people, very special people. Yeah. So I didn't win international Olympiad. Just got a silver medal, like one of the last silver medals. It's actually for me, it's much more interesting to work with people who are just interested in this. So who want to get better in this type of thing. So they want to learn and they want to train, and it doesn't matter if they will perform good or bad. It just matters if they reach the potential they have, So if they have potential to just be a good programmer in the future, I would love to give them all the opportunity to do this. That's it, I believe. So, and I had one. So I am mostly proud of people. I have a lot of examples of people who didn't have any experience of programming before they come to ITMO. So they do some different stuff, some math stuff, even some dancing stuff. So there are people who didn't have that much experience of programming before ITMO, but then they come to ITMO and they decided to, okay, this is what I want to do, and we give them all the opportunities. So by the time they finish the ITMO, they are great programmers. So, and I have a lot of examples of people like this, and I'm mostly proud of this part. Actually, even more than I'm proud of my IOI medalists.
Yeah. And you're doing a lot of, we mentioned these tech talks kind of that you're doing at these different events.
That's actually very new for me. I started doing it last year, and I just, so they asked me to give a lecture about something which is not about algorithms, but about some my competition, about programming competitions and stuff. And first time I was kind of, it was very new for me, so I just prepared some lecture, and then now I have 3 different lectures about this stuff. It's actually
and I was on one of them at the Southeastern European Regional. I actually recorded it because I really liked it, but then I saw that it was also on YouTube already. So and I watched the other 2 as well, and I think it's very interesting. There you talk a lot about these different aspects of contests that are not necessarily like how much you know and which algorithms and how good you are, but more about this kind of conditioning and performance areas. So can you share maybe something outside of knowledge and skill that can affect contest performance?
I know there are many aspects to contest performance. I believe the best way is to just one of the important thing I learned is you cannot train your so you can't get better in contests if you don't participate in contests. So you cannot just stay at home, solve the problems, and then go to a competition and beat everyone. It doesn't work like this, because competitions are different. You have this very stressful environment where you have limited time, you have a lot of noise outside around you, and so you need to train this as well. So that's what I'm trying to do. For example, in Neapolis University, there are not that many competitions, but when I have at least some competition we can attend offline, I would love to make my students go there so they can feel this real competition environment, so they know how it feels in real life. I don't know what else to say actually. So I didn't prepare this because I need to prepare some lectures about this. One of the, for me, one of the biggest actually problem in competitions was my nerves actually. So I believe the most mistakes I made during my competitions is because I was too nervous. So when I'm too nervous, I make silly mistakes, and that's something I need to deal with. Now I'm better at it, but back in the days it was madness for me. It actually helped to participate in team competitions, because in team competitions you, at least for me, you're less nervous because you have two friends nearby, so you can not only you. But sometimes we have all three participants not in the best shape, so you still have a problem. So especially in the first year, of competitions, we did a lot of stupid mistakes because we are too excited, too nervous about these competitions. But again, I believe the only thing that helps is a lot of experience in this type of things, and just, there's no universal solution for this. You just try to find things that works for you, I believe. I don't know what else to do. Again, okay, it's hard to be good at something, in anything, including competitive programming. So.
You could probably write a book about this.
Okay, again, it's hard to make some universal advice for anything, including. So I can give some advice that works for me, but you need to find what works for you. I believe the main thing is like the consistency. So you train. When you feel okay, I'm not progressing, you train a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it too well. And now from the lecturer perspective, so is teaching something that you approach similarly to like competitive programming, in the sense that it's something that you can practice, that you can absolve, like see what I could have done better, or is it something that you think is more natural to you?
No, I believe teaching is a skill, and you need to train it as well. So I'm teaching a lot since many years ago, and I actually. I would say like this. So I am not sure that my students need lectures that much actually. So I have all the lectures recorded, and I believe many of my students do not attend offline lectures because they can just watch the recording online. But even if I have no students, I would still make the lectures, I believe, because I need to, again, keep myself in shape. So if I stop doing lectures, I will lose it in a year, I believe. So I'm trying to continue this, giving on offline lectures just to keep myself in a good shape. I force myself to give new lectures actually. So every year I give 1 or 2 completely new lectures for me. So I learn some new stuff, try to explain it to students, and it's actually important to keep yourself, keep yourself motivated, keep yourself in good shape. So yes, teaching is not very natural.
And I think I heard sometimes that when elite chess players start holding chess lectures, they drop like 200 ELO. I'm not sure if it's correct, but for you, do you think teaching has kind of helped your personal, let's say, journey in competitive programming, or?
No, I don't think so. Maybe competitive programming helped me teaching as well, but so I have no problem. I can write down the whole code of the algorithm during the lecture, and one of the cool features my brain has after the programming competitions, I can visualize kind of the whole algorithm in my head. So even the hard problem, I can debug problems in my head. So it helps during the lecture. So I can visualize the whole algorithm I'm explaining. So it's easier for me to explain it when I can see it as a whole, and I can write down the whole code basically of many data structures I teach. So I believe it works this way. So I participate in competitions to be a better lecturer, so stuff like this, not vice versa. So I believe I just don't care about rating for many years. So my rating goes up, and now it goes down because I don't care that much. So rating is just a number. I don't care about rating. So I was caring about rating when I was like 15 years ago. So I don't know when it was kind of important for me. Right now I just don't care. So they can put any number there. I want to still be in Grandmaster League. So it might drop down to oranges. It would be painful. Yeah, but since I'm having in this, so I'm even in international Grandmaster, I believe. So since I'm in this Grandmaster range, I'm okay. So I don't feel like I'm old. So, but then again, I'm now not as good as I did before. So I'm not as fast as I'm used to. I'm maybe not as smart as I used to be. But still, I try to compensate with my experience. So I knew a lot of problems. Sometimes I see the problem, I see, oh, we had problem like this 20 years ago. And okay, this never happened actually. But something similar happened. So I can, yes, I can use this experience to perform better than some young students, despite the fact I am much older. Yes, it's actually, it's fun to compete with very young students. They are very different. I used to, at some point, I was participating in the same team with my student who was like 18 years younger than me, and it's a very fun experience. Very fun experience. So you just explain something, and he's just okay. Let's do it. Just write the program very fast, and you're like, wow. Yeah. So it's different when you grow older. So, but still, I think I'm still doing pretty well actually. So for the 40-year-old man, yeah.
Yeah.
There are not that many 40-year-old men in Code Forces now, I believe.
Yeah. And to continue on that, so you've been obviously in this community for a long time. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Still competing?
Hopefully, I'll be still competing, still teaching children. I love this job. I love what I'm doing now. Okay, like 2 years ago, we came to Cyprus, and we're trying to build something there. And I hope in 10 years we will build something there. So one of the problems we're facing now that Cyprus is Cyprus, and it's hard to get talented students to Cyprus because people think in Cyprus nothing happening in Cyprus. Cyprus is in the middle of nowhere. They just sit there, eating souvlaki and stuff, and that's probably true.
Well, that's a good thing.
For some people, yes, a good thing, but for young students especially, it's sound kind of boring. And I hope in 10 years we will build something so people will say, okay, it's Cyprus, but they have they have this nice university and they do something great there. So
I think you need to market the pool more often, not many universities.
Yeah. I'm not sure if people that. I'm not sure if it's that big advantage for young students again, but yes, I want to put, when I'm making the presentation, I always put a slide with the pool. Yes.
Apart from the contests and everything, it was my favorite part of Pafos Camp.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Pavel, for your time. It's been an interesting lecture. Well, not lecture, interview.
Yeah, when I talk, it's always like lecture. I know it's part of being a teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you want to see more podcasts like this, click subscribe. Bye.